Well, hello, friends, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you for joining me today. I'm already sewing, so why don't y'all have a sit down and sew along with me? I thought I was going to be bringing y'all along for something completely different today, and I will show you what that is too. I thought I was going to get to bring you along for a bag that I was going to make and use this weekend. And it is the Harper Hold All. Y'all see that there? I pulled my fabrics out and everything. I thought I was going to be able to do it, but when I started looking, I still needed my interfacing. So I didn't get to do that one today. So I am bringing y'all along. I am doing another Northern Exposure Shop Hop block. This is the, what is it called? The Krabby block. And it is mostly half square triangles. That's what it looks like. But I am sewing my half square triangles right now so we can get these cut apart, trimmed up, and all the goods so we can start assembling our block. This one looks like it's pretty straightforward. It does have a lot of directions with it, so we're hopeful. Right now, I'm making 12 half square triangles right now. But this is a cute little block. I'll show that to you there. That's our little Krabby block right there. He's going to be fun. Because I think, at least I'm getting this one closer to having all the blocks done. And I don't know, we're right here at the end of the month. And I really just do not know what my finishes are going to look like. On Monday, when I give you updates, I'm going to do a recap of August to see what all we got done this month and how close to, what finishes we have and what we did that got us closer to more finishes. I feel like I haven't got that much done, but I know I have. I know I have. So I will do a look back on the month just to see how much we got done. And we'll actually talk about what's coming up. There were so many things that I was hoping would happen and didn't. And now I'm having to prepare my kitchen for my new appliances to arrive, which means I'm probably not going to be in my sewing room as much because I will need to, first thing I'll have to do is move everything out. I'm hoping my husband will be in between now and then so he can help move things. I need to move things out of my kitchen. All I'm going to do is move it to the living room. I'm going to have him move an ice chest into my kitchen. So, and I don't know, I've got boxes and boxes of baby clothes right now that I'm trying to go through for my daughter. Because we have a Once Upon a Child here, and we can take those and do exchange for them. He's only 18 months old. He'll be 2 in December. And, she's like me. Don't pay full price for clothes while they're that little. So what we do is I clean up everything and I will take it back to Once Upon a Child and we'll just do a trade or a sell back. And that way, we can get him some winter clothes. And he's up another size, y'all. So him and my granddaughter both. And I'm recording this on Thursday nights, guys. This is not very often that this happens, but my husband headed back to work today. And I seem to be able to get more sewing when he's not here, because when he's not here, I can just throw something together for dinner. But when he's here, I can't just throw something together. When he's not here, I can just throw a corn dog in the microwave and be happy. But with him, I can't do that. And 9 times out of 10, we end up having to go somewhere to eat. And someone in the comments had made mention about how I get so much done. And, you know, because I do have a full-time job. I have to be there at 6 a.m. And I work till 4:30 p.m. I get a lot done because my husband isn't here half the time. And when he's not here, I can come, like he's not here today. And when I got off work, I actually took my parents out to eat tonight because I just really wasn't feeling like cooking. And I really wasn't feeling a corn dog today. And I haven't checked on my dad. And plus I needed to check on him. He does have his surgery scheduled. So I needed to find out all about that. So now I have to go. I told him to let me know as soon as he knew so I could schedule the time off work, because he'll have to have somebody take him up there. And he's not going to have surgery without me being there. So I'll have to go in. I'll have to take off. I think the 9th is when my appliances are supposed to be here. And then I'll have to take the 16th off. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. For my near future, you know, things that I'm having to plan for. Now, we will be headed out Saturday morning, bright and early, trying to head to my grandbaby's birthday party. And then we will check into our Airbnb, and because I'll have to rest. I know there's going to be a lot of people maybe not a lot of people, but probably more people than I'm comfortable being around. And I know more people than my sister is comfortable being around. But I talked to that little old stinker girl today on FaceTiming. Oh my goodness. I'm telling y'all. Well, I'm going to trim these down, press them, and then make sure they're the size they're supposed to be. And I will be right back once that's done. Okay, friends, I now have that done. So now what we are going to do is be making 9 blocks. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do here. We're gathering in this block and putting a half square triangle on it. Now, I will have 9 blocks to make, so I am just going to try to run through this real quick. It's not going to be quick. I mean, we know that. So this block here, I'm lining them out. And I checked several of my half square triangles, and how I do mine, they came out perfect, so I didn't even have to trim, which is really nice. Because that trimming it down to what it should be can take a while. So now we've got the first 2 here. So I will need to press these out, and that first one doesn't need another block, but the second row does. And I need to make sure to pay attention to that white, because I have a right side and a wrong side. I've got white on white. And we don't want to do that backwards, even though I don't really think it would matter. I don't think you would be able to tell, but I would be able to tell. Okay, so this one here, everything presses to the right. Everything on both of them presses to the right. And it looks like our red is going to bleed through just a little bit. Well, why do they have them both going the same direction if I'm having to nest? I don't understand that. But we're going to nest and we're going to pin. So right here on this side, I'm making sure all ends and sides and edges are even. Even if I'm not sewing on that side, I like to have it even all the way around, because sometimes that may straighten the fabric out for you if you need a little extra something there. See, like this end, I got to get that lined up. And of course, I hit a pin. I always do. At least this time it's not the Merry Christmas. So block 1 is done, and I'm going to press, and then we'll start on block 2. Block 1 is done. I'm going to lay this over here and put my clapper on it. Now, some of these blocks are only 2 rows, so, and I should have marked these, but I didn't. But, you know, it's okay, I guess, if I did. I can figure them out. I laid them on my tray in alphabetical order. So I've got a top solid piece that's a longer piece. So my second row on this is 3 pieces. My top row is just 1 piece. And guys, my air just kicked on, so you probably heard that. But y'all, it has been fabulous weather today. I mean, beautiful weather today. Cannot believe how nice it has been. I mean, even though I watch the weather and I say, oh, a cool front's pushing down, you know, you just, I mean, it's Louisiana. You don't think it's gonna actually get to you. You know, you don't think it's really gonna happen. But I am so happy that we are having some lovely weather right now. So we've got that second row done. I'm just going to fold this top piece down so we can get our second block done. The thing that takes the most time is sewing, cutting, and trimming those half square triangles. So now this is row 2 that I am just about done with. I'm going to start trimming these pieces off the top of that so it makes it easier to press. Block 2, under the clapper it goes. Okay, block 3. We're going to have a half square triangle. So I'm going to do the first row and then I'll grab the fabrics for the second row. But I will go in and take these off, because what I'm going to try to do is speed it up by pressing while I am sewing. So while that is pressing, and this doesn't even say which one it is, but I'm guessing it's this one because it is colored. So now I have another half square triangle to line up there real good. Let's make sure we're lined up. So now we're sewing together block 3. Make sure this is the bottom, this is the top. Now we have block 3 done. I'm going to throw it over here and have it pressing while I start pulling fabric for block 4. Okay, block 4 is going to be done just a little bit differently. We are going to be putting vertical rows and it's going to have 3 blocks on this row. I'm not going to keep doing chain stitching on these, and the reason I'm not is because there's too much room for error there for me, especially since it's going in a different direction. I'm going up and down. I just need to do 1 row at a time with this, because I will sure enough forget and do it the wrong way. Okay, so now for the second row, have the first row over here under the iron pressing. I love how they find ways to put half square triangles together to make designs and things. I just absolutely love it. I think that's why I love half square triangles so much, is because there's just so much that you can do with them. Okay, and we're pressing down. Okay. That is always intriguing to see, you know, what the next design is going to be, I guess. I just love half square triangles. Yeah, and I am noticing some of the pink is bleeding through. Some of the red, rather, is bleeding through. So that's not good. No bueno, for sure. Not good at all. So that one is the... See, I don't understand why they don't have these press in opposite directions. There's so many of these. I guess I could take it on myself to do that. But I've always been follow the process, because there may be a reason they're not having you press it. But I don't think so. I think it's just a fluke of the pattern. Because in one part they did say press open. I don't press open. I just don't. I don't like pressing open because, first off, these seams are only 1/4 of an inch. My fingers cannot get those little seams to open. So now I'm going to be adding the 3rd row to this block. If I can get it open, guys, if I can get it open. My crab's going to look bad because of the fabric bleeding through, this red bleeding through. And I did spray it and press it before I even cut it, in the hopes that that would stop, you know, any bleed of it, but it didn't. I thought it would set the color and it would be fine, but I guess not. Okay, so now I'm going to press this, and we will be doing block 5 is 1 piece, so then we'll start on block 6. Okay, block 4 is done. That's not the way it goes though. Block 4 goes this way. So this is going to be block 5, and I'm just going to put it out of the way. Block 6. So we're already on block 6, guys. Wow. I was really hoping to be able to do that bag today. I'm going to have to go online, and because it calls for special interfacing. So I want to make sure I get the right stuff, because some of it may have a different thickness, a different, you know, core feel to the fabric. I just want to make sure I have the correct stuff and it feels right. Because that's kind of like a really big tote bag, actually. I was hoping to be able to get it done and be able to use it this weekend. But I have some serious stuff that I have to do this weekend. Before this weekend. And there are not enough hours in the day to do what I have to do. Like today, I just had to take a breather. And I mean, this happens kind of frequently, wait a second, making sure I have this going the right way. It's just this, well, it's not just this week. This has been going on. I've been pretty tired after work. And I know I kind of mentioned yesterday about Meta. Well, where I work, we get a lot of calls about roadways. And all of the dump trucks and stuff going to Meta is destroying the roads. And we're getting calls about, gravel dumped on the road. It's just all kinds of things, y'all. Just really all kinds of things. And it's just making a mess. That's my second row. But we're just hoping that things will settle down soon. But I have been where I work now since 2019. And never have I ever had anyone call me and just be completely ugly. And last week I had a lady with a filthy mouth call, and I mean that just really takes a toll on me, because I try to do my best to help everybody out, because now unfortunately I know funding situations and stuff like that, I know why there are issues. There's just not enough money to do everything that needs to be done. And but we do our best. But the phone ringing constantly, and now we're going under environmental audit, and with our headquarters, not like OSHA or anything like that. But I tell you, it does take its toll. Okay, so now let's put this block together. I need to trim off these dog ears on the side. I know it's not what they're called. Tags, dog ears, whatever you want to call them. You call them what you want to call them. I call them dog ears. But it's just been a very hectic kind of past couple weeks. And it has taken its toll on me. It really has. That's why this weekend it could not come at any better time. It is perfect timing for this. That's what my sister was telling me too, because where she works, they're going through an audit as well. And she's one of their bookkeepers. She keeps up with all the receipts and stuff like that. And she said they have gone through, they had one audit done and then turned around and had another audit. I think it's just everybody going through it right now. I mean, I know it has to be done. I know they making sure there's a money trail for everything. And I mean, I have to do that too. I have to keep up with receipts for fuel and credit card receipts for anything purchased for the office and all that. So that's why I refused a credit card. I did not want one of their cards. Since I manage the office pretty much, I'm not over people, but I manage the paperwork and I manage, what they need. But I told them I did not want a credit card. If there was something that they needed, our supervisor could go get it. He has a card. Because I'm not going to try to remember all the stuff they have to do with credit cards. I know what I have to do when they hand me their receipts. And that's what I do. Block 6 is done. I know this does not look right, does not make sense, but it will. It will eventually. So, block 7. Making sure I've got the right side of that. So, enough work talk. We're going to enjoy our sewing time together. I know I am. I thoroughly enjoy being able to get in here and sew, but I really need to be on washing it. Baby clothes to get them ready to go to Once Upon a Child tomorrow. I like letting those things wash overnight, and then when I get up, I could throw them in the dryer. And when I am fixing my breakfast, I can just throw it in the dryer and it can dry as I'm doing something else. And Friday is my only day that I have to record for you guys. That's why I'm still sewing, and it is actually straight up midnight right now. So I am still sewing straight up midnight. That's because I have so much I have to do tomorrow. I was hoping to be able to take a quilt to the shop, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. This next row is just 2 pieces. I have this other one over here under the iron being pressed. I sprayed it really good. That's probably why I'm having all the bleeding. But it had a lot of seams to it, so I wanted to make sure to get that fabric pliable where it would easily, press a good seam there. Okay, so now we have, so this is block 7. I need to make sure I did these right, because block 9 is exactly like block 7, just flipped. It looks like it's right, so we're going to go with it. I've got a cat trying to climb my leg. He's ready to go to bed. He's telling me it's past his bedtime. And I know it is. Okay, so this is 7. This is our 8. And block 9. So let's get to block 9. Now, block 9 is only 2 rows as well. Yes, it's only 2 rows as well. So this should be a quick one. Come on, Oscar. Get off my leg, baby. I know. You're ready to go to bed. Now, earlier, I talked to my grandbaby today for her birthday. We FaceTimed. She jibber-jabbered. She was eating her breakfast and watching Bluey. Her breakfast consisted of orange slices and turkey bacon. That was her breakfast. And when her mama got off work today, they were going to get her Build-A-Bear. Those are supposed to be, like on their birthday, you can get a bear. I think it's just a standard stuffed bear for whatever their age is. And she's 2, so she'll get a Build-A-Bear for $2. Hopefully. I don't think that's how it goes anymore. That might be how it used to go, but I don't think that's how it is now. Okay, so now we are assembling our block 9. So that means we are just about done. Because once we get block 9 assembled, then we can assemble our crab block. So that will be pretty. Guys, I had started telling y'all kind of what I was doing tomorrow. And what it looks like, for projects that I was working on. Well, some, we didn't even get on. But, I always have my Whip It Wednesdays. I can always work on something in progress on Wednesday. And that'll work, you know. So now we have all of our little blocks. So I am going to lay them out. It says gather your blocks and arrange them as shown below. That's going to be interesting because I need to know exactly what the number is. But so this is going to be like a puzzle. And I do have eyes that I have to put on this. I won't do that tonight. So it looks like you go left to right on assembly, which is perfectly fine with me. That's how I like to do my assembly. And then once you get the 3 rows assembled, then you go top to bottom and assemble those rows. It throws me off when they want you to go top to bottom first and then assemble it side to side. So I am going to just chain stitch these because it's just the first 2 pieces of each row. And I can't, well, I could stop and take it off and add to it, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to do the first 2 blocks. And pretty much this has been real easy. As I said, there are a lot of instructions on this pattern, which has really made it easy. The only thing that has not been made easy is the pressing. I don't think the pressing is very easy. You guys, I had several things that I needed to do today and people I needed to message, and I even mentioned 2 of them last night in my video, and I completely forgot to text them today. So that's the first row. This is going to be cute, y'all. Going to be cute. And once again, this is the Northeast Louisiana, I think it's Northeast Louisiana Quilters Guild or North Louisiana Quilters Guild. I am not part of that guild, but I do enjoy their shop hop and their quilt show. So I do enjoy that. But hopefully, I always say I want to join things like that, but I know I don't have time. I wish I did. But I do, you know, like I was saying earlier, somebody had mentioned how much I get done with a full-time job. I do have a full-time job that I work Monday to Thursday. I'm off on Fridays, and that's when I try to catch up on videos for the weekend. Normally it don't happen. Normally I get on a quilt and I am like razor focused on working that. Like the one behind me, I was razor focused on finishing that last weekend and I sewed all day on it. So I'm going to press these out real quick and be right back so we can assemble. Okay, so I have the 3 rows pressed. I'm going to just get into it and start pressing this. Wait a second. I got to make sure I'm right here. I'm not. That's upside down. Because I was like, wait a second. That one is actually nesting. It ain't supposed to nest. Don't none of these nest. I wish they did. So if you follow the instructions of this, if any of y'all are from Louisiana or did the Northern Exposure Shop Hop and haven't done your block yet, I don't think there's anybody that watches that might have done that. But if you nest, which this one is nesting, something wrong with that picture. These aren't supposed to nest. They're all supposed to be pressed the same direction. But I have a lot of little seams in between the... Okay, so this one has a lot of seams in it. Oh, and we got a seam right there. 2 half square triangles coming together. I'm making sure they line up. Is that one the same way? It sure is. I need to make sure there, because that's going to be the little guy's claws. We can't have his arms halfway off. Yeah, we can't have that. Oh, I don't need that right on that needle. But I do need to get a stitch in right before that needle. Oh, goodness, it ain't wanting to go. Well, friends, we are almost done with this block. How about it? Okay, now I am going to press this one here because I'm going to press these out so I can see what they're starting to look like. You know, just kind of an encourager there. Okay, and now we're going to put the last row on, making sure everything lines up, and we start pinning. Okay, we are pinned, and we are sewing our last row on, guys. I'm going to tell you, when I press this out, he looks so cute. This turned out so cute. Now, I do still need to put the eyes on him, because the eyes aren't on him yet. He's got some little black eyes that I'll need to put on him. And that did come in our little package that we got from, I think it was the fabric shop that this block came from. They're in Ruston, Louisiana. But tomorrow I have to get everything done and packed for my trip. And I don't even have, I normally do not do laundry until the weekend. So it's not done, and I have to do everything I do on the weekend on Friday. So when y'all see this Friday evening, I am going to have run myself ragged. So 1 second, I'm going to press so y'all can see what this looks like. So guys, this is our little crab here. I just realized I do have sides and a top and bottom that I need to add on it. But this is our little crab. He's so cute. He turned out great. So guys and friends, please give me a thumbs up before you head out. Leave a comment if you'd like. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. Your comments, I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.